did seem like she was like, this is going to be it.
Yeah.
Like, this is my moment. This is it. She goes back into that bridal suite, and she's, like, devastated. And she was like, why am I not good enough? Why am I not enough? Why is it never my turn? Like, she immediately internalized everything that he had said as to her not being enough. And that, I was like, because I already knew, because the way she had been addressing some things throughout the season, that looks, and it always came down to her, like if she was compared to someone else, the other person always got picked.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it was because she was a chocolate woman, because that's why I was like, am I reading more into this based off of my, history? Because, the chocolate girls, they don't get picked. Not until here recently, now the chocolate's in. But I'm just like, so I was like, am I projecting that on her? I don't know. But I do know she has some insecurities.
Yeah.
And she immediately was like, dang, I thought this was the one. I thought that I could make him
Ding, 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 ding.
into choosing me and making him into enough. And I was just like, no.
That goes back to more whatever again, I don't know the conversation before that, like about her family of origin, because, to me, when I was watching that episode, that part right there stemmed from her dad. Because he wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there, and they don't even talk about it.
They don't even talk about it. So for me, when I saw that part, it was like, that goes back to her dad, because to me, again, I don't know the backstory, but it was, I'm not good enough even for my dad. So that's how I look at how I took it. Again, I'm not.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like
This is the B-side, 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 the marriage. This is the B-side, 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 the marriage.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the B-Side of Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Rashonda, and this is my husband and co-host,
Jason.
And here at the B-Side, we talk everything related to marriage. The good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B-side. So if you're joining us, for the first time, welcome. So glad you were able to find us. And if you're a returner, welcome back, fam. And here we go into all the things. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell so that you're aware of when we post new episodes.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and if you're listening to us.
Go ahead.
Okay. And if you're listening to us on any of the audio platforms, please be sure to do the same. Please, like, follow, whatever, because we really would like to know who is watching.
As well, follow us on Facebook at The BSide of Marriage and on Instagram at BSide of Marriage.
Okay. Sorry about that intro, guys.
Rusty Dusty?
No. I think my mind was just, a little bit all over the place. Because I'm ready to jump into our A and B side moments from the week. And for those new, this is where we share a highlight reel from our week or reality.
So, for A and B side moment, I'm trying to think what that was this week for me.
See, you weren't prepared.
Oh, I wasn't prepared. I'm just trying to think. Man, I don't know. I guess the only thing I can say was it wasn't a busy week for me. That's pretty much because, with coaching, with work, with the kid, it wasn't like that. It wasn't, I was always on the go. So I think that's...
That's your A side?
Yeah, I think that's the A side. It was. I wasn't just always on the go. I got time to just chill. B side moment. I guess I have to say when it comes with basketball with my oldest, I think.
Okay.
Because like I said, so me and Shonda, basically, we teach our son certain things. We want him to do his best and stuff like that. And it's like the things that we do with him, it's not like computing sometimes, and it's like it's weird. So I'll say like this, like so I took him to the basketball court and we played basketball with him. And it was me and another dad who was playing, this 3 versus 2. And again, me and the dad, we beat him. We beat all 3 of the kids every game. But it's like even after the first game, they didn't do something different. They kept doing the same thing that wasn't helping them. They got to the third game, and like I said, we had a conversation with them after the second game, like, what are we doing that is difficult for y'all? Why? And they made it look like we're magicians, and I'm just like, and it made me laugh. But at the same time, it's like, what are we doing that you guys that you see to try to change it? And then we beat them the next game, like they didn't score a point. And we didn't do anything like special because again, we didn't out hustle these kids, nothing. We just did fundamental stuff, and it still didn't click. Like my son kept shooting jumpers from way outside. It's like, and in the game I'm like, hey, you got all this real estate. Come closer and shoot. Come closer, make a move to the basket. But they wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's frustrating because it's like. Again, it's a different time, but when I was growing up, like, I watched, I don't know if it's basketball IQ, I don't know if that's what it is, but I watched other people's things, so when I did something that didn't work, I tried something different. So if I lost, I wasn't trying to say, I need to score more points. I tried to figure out what I can do differently to be successful. But I don't see that, so it's kind of, I guess that's my B-side, just thinking about that thing, because again, it's like this is not like first time me and his dad has played them. We've played them multiple times,
like
and it's like we don't do anything different. Like we're not we out rebound them because they don't box out. That's a simple thing. But then our passes, we're not doing anything special. We're back cutting, we're passing, we're moving, and getting open shots. So it's like, that's mine. What about you? Yeah, I went on a little rant.
Yes, you did. I was like, are you good?
I'm good.
You sure?
It just made me think. I just thought about it all that just now. Really like, wow. It does. It frustrates me because like, if this is what you want to do, you're going to get better. Don't keep doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like doing the same thing is not going to make it happen if you keep doing the same thing. Like do something different. So, okay. I'm done.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Positive?
Yes.
Okay. Well, my A side is I have finished with graduate school. Yes, it is done. I am so excited, which is why I bobbled the whole intro, because I just found out like I had a very I shouldn't say hard professor, but I had a very anal. Like very into like details and like very by the book and like very limited, I should say, grace.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is not the kind of class that I want to like take in my last, quarter or whatever. So anyways, but I survived. I drove Jay crazy.
Sometimes.
But yeah. So I'm excited. So now I just got to do some. Well, I just got like administrative stuff, to actually officially close out the quarter. Yeah. But I'm excited that that's done. And now it's on to the next. Well, I'm going to celebrate.
Say that. Yes, please. Thank you.
I'm going to celebrate.
Yeah, don't be too much. I'm going to the next thing. Now
but the next thing is like to pass the exam. So I'll have to study. But I get to, it'll be less busy because of the way the state of Texas is. You cannot practice while you are until you pass the exam. So because of that, I will be able to like have a little bit more free time and be able to study too. And so I'm excited about that, not having to just juggle so many things.
Yeah.
So that's my A. Now my B side is Jay. So and it goes back to stuff that we've said before about thinking you're supporting when what you're doing might not be exactly what your spouse, your partner wants. So, for example, the reason why he's my B-side is because things are usually busy. Like during the week, I wake up before he does. I'm out of the house before he wakes up and gets started with his day. So we only really have Saturdays and Sundays to be able to wake up together. Well. And then not really, because on Sundays I have clients.
Yeah.
So I usually get up before he does. Well, so this past Saturday he was like, "Oh well, because I get up early anyways. I'm gonna let you sleep in, because that's like the only day you can sleep in."
Okay, I was like, what did I do?
So I'm gonna get up, and start doing stuff. And I was like, "Did I ask you to do that?" No. That's literally the only day that we have to sleep in together. So yeah. So that's why you my B-side, because nobody asked you to give me that. And so then I had to text him. I was like, "Well, I miss, waking up with you." And he was like, "Oh, I'll come back in." Well, by that time I'm out. Like, you ruined it. Because usually we just like, "Oh, so what are we going to do today?" Like, we come up with a whole game plan for that day. And he was out in the streets.
I was in the living room, but it's all good.
Outside of the room.
It's all good.
So, yeah, that's my B-side.
All right. So, yeah, we just going to move right along. Because.
But it is. Because it was like, that was like our connecting moment, time.
I totally understand that. And I'm not going to try to defend it. You said you was tired. You wanted to sleep in. You was doing this paper every day, all these hours. So I was trying to give you some time to just sleep, because I didn't want to be sitting up, just moving around, waiting for you to get up. Like, I was like, I'm just going to get up and I'm just going to let you sleep I was expecting that you was going to text me. He's like, "I'm up. Let's come back in the room, sit down." That's what I was expecting. I didn't get that. I got, I missed you in the bed. Okay, I'm coming in. I'm already up now. Like, it's not like I left and went out to the store. I'm literally in the living room.
Well, you went out and the kids saw you out. So therefore, now you're out.
But what
now we're awake and
But what do I always say about them kids?
Right.
Forget them kids. Like, you saying come in the room, I'm like, "Love y'all, I'm out. Forget you." I'm out. No, ain't no or.
Or you could have asked, "How can I support you in finishing the paper?"
Okay.
Or how can I support you this
School's
weekend?
over. Cool. School's over. Let's keep going. Yes, let's keep going.
Well, I mean, that's just a teachable moment. So.
Oh no, from now on, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
So, what did we say? I don't know.
P2P.
P2P share, where we share something that we're listening to, watching, or reading. What you got?
You need to go first, because mine's gonna tie into what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. Can't remember what it was, but no, I can't. I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember the name of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
But it was just, it was an interesting conversation regarding, emotional focused therapy.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And just how it correlates with men, not really being fully in touch with their feelings and be able to express that stuff with their spouses. So again, for me, it was very interesting, because the conversation was talking kind of more geared towards husbands, and how they experience love, and how they want their wives to show them love, but they don't connect with the emotional part behind it first. So they'll use one aspect of seeking attention, whatever it may be, from their spouse, but not really correlating the reasoning, like why is it that, like, and the example was, one guy was just saying that, your spouse, like his spouse doesn't love him enough if they're not having sex 4 times, like 2 to 3 times a day, but wow. what he was correlating that to was just kind of his upbringing of, how he wanted to receive love from, from other people, from his, family members, and it was always disconnected that way. So he wanted to receive that more, and instead of telling his wife, the importance of, the time that he wanted her touching, whatever it may be, it was more of, okay, we need to have sex this amount of time, because that's how I see that you love me.
Ah, gotcha.
So, but it was just an interesting conversation. So again, I can't remember what podcast it was, but it was, so.
You kind of need to figure that out. How you gonna recommend something and then be like, y'all go find it?
Okay, let me see.
I mean, you don't got to do it right now, but I'm saying
it was in what I listened to. So
put it in the show notes or something.
Okay.
Listen now.
It was called Foreplay, Couples and Sex Therapy. It was something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those episodes. So okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, mine is not that deep. But mine is Love is Blind season 6. It's great TV. I feel like I've recommended this before, but if not, please do. I mean, season 6 has it all, which is also what we're going to talk about today. So y'all, I was finally able to get Jay to like dive into the deep end with me in analyzing a episode. So I guess I should say spoiler alert, but by the time that this comes out, the reunion and everything is already happened.
Yeah.
So I guess spoiler alert-ish, whatever. But the concept of Love is Blind is that to prove that love is blind, they start off in these pods, separated by a wall. And so basically they date a variety of people by just going into the room, talking. They have a little notebook or whatever. Sometimes they'll have games like towards when they're getting serious. But it's just like getting to know someone without ever seeing them, okay? So then if you make a connection with someone and you ask them, basically one person has to propose. Usually it's the guy. I don't think a girl has ever done it.
I never watched the first part, so I can't tell you.
Oh, I've watched this in the beginning. So yeah, I don't remember.
I don't watch the pod stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, so I don't know what happens there.
But someone proposes, and then if the other person accepts, they come out of the pods, and then they meet, and they get to see each other. And then they go on a honeymoon, basically. So they go on this, it's a trip. It's usually, it's like a vacation, like a little honeymoon with this person that they said yes to in a pod that they didn't know or didn't see before. They go on this vacation, and this is kind of like where the rubber meets the road because you're staying in the same room for the first time. You're like having like a lot of people get tripped up because they're like, they can't really put that voice with the physical person that they see. So they get tripped up there. And then, of course, the show has, like, they'll have, like, meetups where, like, all the couples, like, hang out together. And then, yeah. And so then they move into an apartment after that. And then that is where really reality hits. Because now they're giving back their cell phones. And now they go back to work and they have to like introduce this person as their fiance. So they usually have to do like meet family, friends, blah, blah, blah. And so that's when pretty much everything usually falls apart.
Yeah.
Anyways, they get I forget. I think it's like 2, maybe 3 weeks. Anyways, there's a certain period of time that they live together. And then they actually, and in that process, they're also not only like understanding what real life would look like with this person, and meeting and like integrating their worlds. They're also like doing all the wedding stuff, like picking out dresses, doing this tux and all the things, having a bachelorette party and all this stuff. So then they give their final answer literally at the altar. You're walking down, you're having a whole wedding, and then a part of the vows is whoever is officiating will say, okay, you said, you came on the show, like, well, they don't say that, but the premise is you thought love is blind. Is love is blind for you?
Yeah.
And they say, I do, or no. Okay. So I just said to give y'all a little context of what we're talking about today, because so there's 6 seasons and I have been watching all 6 seasons. And I think that what happened with a couple, the names are AD and Clay, was one of the realest moments of this show, to the point where I was invested in this show. Like invested in this couple, I should say. And I'm so glad that it was with a Black couple as well, because of it really humanized a lot of things that I don't think that Black love really gets.
Okay.
All right. So to the point where I was like, Jay, you have to watch this. I go, I don't care if you finish whatever, just watch the wedding episode. It's like the season finale.
Yeah.
So he watches it, and now we're going to talk about it. Okay? So where do you want to start? Because there were so many concepts that came out.
Wherever you want to start.
I don't know.
Just like wherever you want to start, because like I said, I after I watch it, I give you my kind of 2 cents about it. So.
Okay. So I guess let me provide a little context for those who don't watch on the couple themselves. Okay. So AD, she's a chocolate, beautiful Black woman, who is she a cheerleader? Like she's a professional cheerleader, a professional dancer for like NFL team. So she's fit, she's charismatic, and she's also like venturing into entrepreneurship. I think she's in her early 30s.
Yeah, I don't know. I
can't remember her age, but let's just say she's in her early 30s, right? So, so she goes on the show and she's fully committed to the experiment.
Yeah.
She did make a connection with someone else, which I'm so glad that didn't work out, because I can't. I'm not gonna diagnose him, but I didn't think that was gonna work out. Yeah. We'll say it that way. Okay. And so she fell in love with Clay. Clay is I think he's in his late 20s, but he's an athlete, tall, chocolate Black man, who is very into, like, he's an entrepreneur as well, but he's kind of like used to dating a person that looked a certain way, right? That became an issue. That's when AD initially didn't think it was going to work out with Clay, because in the pod, you're not supposed to talk about anything physical, because that's the whole point. Love is blind. But he was like, I can't propose if I don't have any idea what you look like.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, then I guess you're not proposing, because I'm here for the experiment.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for true love.
Yeah.
And apparently this kind of triggered her, because she's, I guess, gotten to a certain point with certain relationships, and then they're like, oh, it's all like superficial. It's all about your look and what you can do for me, kind of thing. Anyway, so
I didn't know that context.
Yes. So while they're dating, Clay keeps like saying about how, he wants to be a good man. He wants to do right. He's never really been in a serious relationship. And he had his model, like his dad divorced his mom. So that was his kind of model of what a husband, was his dad.
Yeah.
So he kept like bringing it up, like even during like the honeymoon thing. He was like, I love you. I just hope I don't cheat on you. And she's like, what? Like, okay. Like, he was very much, he kept like bringing it up. Yeah. So for me, I'm like, red flag. Like, why do you keep bringing it up? Whatever. But he was very insecure. Even in the pods, he was like, oh, like he like kind of wilded out when he found out that she was making a connection with someone else. And it's like, but you all are dating different people. There's multiple love triangles this season. So I was just like, for him to really like, he really doubted like, oh, if you like somebody else, then you don't like me. Mm-hmm. Like it was immediate like, oh, you can't have both. You can't have it both ways. It's all black and white thinking is like all or nothing. Yeah. So anyway, so she's like, no, Clay, like she's an encourager. Yeah. She affirmed that man and she reassured him. And even as they were meeting parents, she kept, saying, I'm here for you. You're a good guy. Like just, whatever. And he was very much like, it came across as superficial for him. Like he was like, ooh, when he saw her, like, ooh, you look so sexy. Like, ooh, yeah, like you are the one because of looks. Mm. And they have that little saying I forgot what it was. Like, anyways, y'all don't need to know that. But they had like a cute little like name play off of their names. Mm-hmm. And they look like black love. Yeah. Like when you think black love, these two gorgeous people together, oh, this is gonna work out. Anyway, so fast forward to, we got another key point. They have a conversation, I don't know at what point, but they have a conversation where AD says, if it's a no at the altar, it's a no for me. Like, I'm here for the experiment. If you say no, that means our relationship is over. Yeah. Like, there won't be any working on it afterwards. No means no. Mm. And he was like, oh, yeah, I understand that because, yeah, you're here for the experiment, blah, 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 blah. So we get to the wedding. She says yes. He says no because he says he loves her, but he's not a husband. Like, he's not ready to be a husband. And her face honestly cracks. Mm-hmm. And he's just talking and she's just like, she's shocked because this conversation, they apparently never had this conversation where it was never going to be a no. It was always we're both saying yes. Mm-hmm. We're both committed to this. We're going to make this work. And then he goes and says no. So they never have the conversation. She says yes, he says no, and she's just like what? Like she's smiling, but she's just like confused. It was crazy. So, where I would like to start, I think, is talk about manhood. Now, before this episode, I said they should not get married because I knew he was immature and he wasn't ready. I felt like he was torn between two worlds. He wanted to be the playboy, living the flashy life, and he wanted to be the committed husband, like want to set up for the future type thing. I felt like that's what he kept playing. He kept bouncing in between, and I felt like because of the short duration of the show, like before you have to make a decision, I was like, they don't need to get married because I'm ready. Mm-hmm. I'm committed. Like I'm ready to commit to whoever I say I do to. Mm-hmm. So she was there. He was not. And I was like, they don't need to say yes. Mm-hmm. They need more time. Okay. So in the past, there have been couples who have said, I'm going to say no at the altar, but that doesn't mean I'm saying no to you. Like, we're gonna try to work on this afterwards. Well, of course, they don't say this leading up to the show, because of course, because then they're like, nobody's gonna watch, right? But it was like in the reunion or whatever, they'll say, you know, we've talked, we had that conversation before, we had it off camera, so that it won't be egg on the face when you get there, right? Also, too, because like in this situation, if this is the first time you've had that no in the relationship, like, where does that come from, right? So anyways, so I already knew that they needed more time. What he said at the altar, I agree. He was not ready for it to be a husband. But that doesn't give you the right to ruin this moment for me.
I agree. No, I agree. I definitely
If you
agree.
say you love me, if you say you respect me,
That conversation should have had before they
Yes.
before they walked down the aisle.
yes.
You know, and I honestly, I think it didn't click until he had that his dad gave him that pump
Yes,
up,
well, we're going.
so-called pump up speech, and that I think that's what turned the whole thing around.
I do. I agree.
I really think that's what turned it around, because if that conversation would not have been had with his dad, I think it would have been.
would say yes.
He would have said yes.
I completely agree. And that's where it goes to, one of the concepts I wanted to talk about was family of origin too. Like, this man who is struggling with, I want to be better.
Than my dad, yep.
But this is so comfortable. Like, my current Playboy situation, like, because he's an athlete, so, or ex-athlete or whatever. But I'm like, he was like, but I think I'm done with that. I want to be a better man. To then find someone, because AD was with him. She was like, I understand he is rough around the edges, but she saw like his heart. And she was like, I'm going to pour into you because I believe in you. And she even said, even like at the wedding, like, she, in her vows, like what she said to him, like made him like really pump up his chest. But that daddy came in to give that pre-game talk, because it wasn't about, he did not prep him for, the commitment that he's about to make. That man talked about, you come from, you're just like me, and these are my words, and I'm trash when it comes to relationships, so you finna be trash. So do what's best for you, which is stay being a playboy, and don't you dare say yes to that lady up there. That's what I heard. Because you come from a line of no good men. He's like, because I'm like my daddy. I'm like, what is going on?
And he was, the Clay was sucking it all up when he was sucking it all. When he was like,
Well,
he was.
Because I saw a little boy wanting to please his daddy.
Oh no, that's definitely. I agree. I definitely agree.
Yes, daddy. Whatever you say. Yep, I am. Also too, because he wants to be like his dad. Like, he wants to be better than his dad. That's what he should have pulled out of that.
Yeah.
Because him and his mom have a great relationship.
Yeah.
So you have to keep in mind that this man, your daddy, treated your mama bad. He treated you bad. That man brought that boy
with him to cheat.
With him while he was cheating. So you have really set him up, and don't you go back and tell your mama anything. Not who I was with, what you saw. So now he is co-signing this behavior.
Correct. And that's what Clay that's what Clay in his head was like, you're right, I'm going to do that because and it's he wanted to change.
Yeah.
You can see that he wanted that change, but I think, like you said, it was the acceptance from his dad. And in that moment, him walking down the aisle and his dad telling him that for him was like, okay, it must mean a lot for my dad to tell. Like, that's not what he said, but you can see, you can see in his reactions, and he was just like, because even like I said, even when she was coming down the aisle, like you can see in his face him battling. Like you can see him like he wanted to be happy, wanted to like possibly cry because when he saw her, but he was just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like you can see like he was pulling back. So it was just like, it was like I said, when I watched it, that was the crazy part because I'm just like he really literally did a 180. Yes. Literally did a 180. Like he went from I'm all in, I'm gonna do this, and then after that conversation with his dad, he literally just turned to 180. And again, at that point, if you knew, you should have said something. You shouldn't have even walked down the aisle. Like he should have had that conversation with her, explaining like, even if he's conflicted, whatever, he needs to have that conversation, not when they get down there doing the vows.
And that daddy sat in that front row with his chest all out. He was just proud. I was like... Everybody
else, like the other mom...
Right, because the moms, they got along. The moms got along great.
People was just confused, but the daddy was just a smile.
Exactly. Clay's mom...
Yeah.
Got along great with AD. To the point where after her son shatters her heart, she embraces AD and is like, you're going to be okay. I know this is hard. I'm so sorry. Like, his mama, I was floored. I was like, and the daddy like.
Yep, he was just a smile. I was like.
All right, son. There you go. Like, what? It was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because I was like, now, if you gon', because, I mean, I'm not saying he should have said yes, but there's just a way to do it. If you truly say you love someone, you don't,
you don't shock them.
I mean, she was shattered.
You don't shock them in front of all these people. That's all one thing.
All these people.
Like, I said, like, you see it in the movies.
Yes.
They'll have, you're not supposed to see me, but they come in and talk to them beforehand. Like, there's been plenty of movies out there where people come, and they want to speak to their wife before the wedding, and they decide they're not going to get married, but they have this conversation about why they're conflicted and stuff like that. So it didn't make sense why he actually just continued to go out there. Because again, it's crazy. Like if you watch, like again, I just watched that episode and two other episodes from the season. But just watching from the beginning of the episode to the minute when he was walking down with his mom, you can see the change and how even his demeanor changed because, for me, I laughed about it because it was more. Like he literally went from like he was really happy enjoying this time, and then all of a sudden, like you can see, like I don't know. For me, it was like his smirk was like a devious smirk, and I was like, wait a second, like where's this now? Like so, I knew something was gonna happen from that moment. Just because
he went back to being that jerk, that playboy.
That whole demeanor changed.
It was like he literally went back to being that playboy because what his daddy put in his head, so he was thinking, I think I can do this. I think we can work through, like whatever, she is going to help me. Well, that was another thing I was like, we'll talk about that. But because he has to do it for himself.
Exactly.
So, but he was thinking, with her help, I can do this. I can do this. I can be better. I can try. I have it in me to do better. That daddy said, no, you are the playboy, and you going to basically maintain the family history of being a playboy. So how don't you dare get married? So then Clay was like, you know what? You right. I'm just a playboy. I gotta uphold. I gotta make my daddy proud. My daddy gonna be proud if I'm just like him. And so that's what that change was. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. So then So they don't get married. She's devastated. She goes into, the bridal suite. I mean, she had so many moments with her mama and her friends. Like, this was it for her, right? Yep. I do believe that. Now, I should have prefaced this to say, I don't know these people. We don't know. They don't know us. We don't have any additional insight into what they were actually thinking. Yeah. This is all based off of the show. Or what they presented for the show. But it did seem like she was like, this is going to be it. Yeah. Like, this is my moment. This is it. She goes back into that bridal suite and she's like devastated. And she was like, why am I not good enough? Why am I not enough? Why is it never my turn? Like, she immediately internalized everything that he had said as to her not being enough. And that, Shabka was like, because I already knew, because the way she had been addressing some things throughout the season, that looks, and it always came down to her, like if she was compared to someone else, the other person always got picked. Okay. Now, I don't know if it was because she was a chocolate woman, because that's why I was like, am I reading more into this based off of my, history? Because, the chocolate girls, they don't get picked. Not until here recently, now the chocolate's in. But I'm just like, so I was like, am I projecting that on her? I don't know. But I do know she has some insecurities. Yeah. And she immediately was like, dang, I thought this was the one. I thought that I could make him ding, 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 into choosing me and making him into enough. And I was just like, no. That
goes back to more whatever. Again, I don't know the conversation before that, like about her family of origin, because, to me, when I was watching that episode, that part right there stemmed from her dad. Because he wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there, and so they don't even talk about it.
They don't even talk about it. So for me, when I saw that part, it was like, that goes back to her dad, because to me, again, I don't know the backstory, but it was, I'm not good enough even for my dad. So that's how I look at how I took it. Again, I'm not.
Yeah, 'cause I feel like she's been looking for love. For that kind of love, because she didn't have it there.
Exactly.
I'm with you. I was there. So I didn't just really it broke my heart to see her. Like, I was like, I don't know you, girl, but man.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like, you done got done dirty.
Listen, when I'm washing dishes, I thought she done fell or something. Because all I hear was like, oh! I'm like, what?
Y'all.
So I came in there, I'm like,
invested.
I literally thought she fell or something, or slipped. Again, in my head, I thought she fell on the treadmill, because I just heard that. I was like, yo, what's going on? You got to watch this. I was like, what? I'm thinking, like I said, I really thought she hurt herself. But she's like, you need to watch this episode. I was like, I'm going back and watch dishes. But
right. Well, because I felt like if anybody would have said no, it was going to be AD.
Oh,
because he, because she was putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
He was very insecure. He was very like, I think I'm going to cheat on you. Like, every time he was like, man, I just want to be loyal. I just want to be faithful. Like, he kept, so I was like,
The 2 episodes I did see, he did say that.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, so I'm like, if that's all you thinking about, of course that's what you're going to do. So I was just like, no, AD, she needs to say no. But when she said yes, I was like, okay, so they must have talked about it. But they did talk, because she was like, you need to go to therapy. No. She was like, you need to go to therapy. You still need to, keep working. Because that's what he said in his speech. He was like, I'm going to go to therapy first.
He sure did say that. You're right.
And then...
I didn't know they had I remember that.
Oh, yeah, because she was like, he had a lot, because a lot of stuff came up for him while he was in the pods.
Oh, see, okay.
And he was very vulnerable. Like, he at some points was crying, and had some of the other guys had to really band around him. A lot of his insecurities came out.
Oh.
So that's why I was like, oh, he's not ready. Because he has a lot of self-work that he needs to do. But also, too, trying to become a better person doesn't mean jumping into a committed marriage. there's so many different like steps you could have taken. Like you could just get a girlfriend. Get a girlfriend where you're faithful and committed to that relationship.
Oh, but he has girlfriends.
No, one where he can be committed. Like there were so many other things he could do to help him grow into becoming a better man.
Yeah.
Not come on this show
Again,
and get thrown into a marriage.
But in his head, having his girlfriends, plural, is committing. Because again, what is his view about commitment?
I don't think he knew that until like the process. I don't think he really knew like what it really meant to be committed until he really started talking to AD and she was like, this is kind of what this is what I'm expecting. Like, you know, as they're trying to date and whatever.
But what he saw with his dad, to him, that's, again, I didn't watch every episode, so I don't know, but that's how I felt from just the episodes that I saw, because his even like I said, when his dad started talking, that was his level, because he even said something after his dad said this. He didn't say it to his dad. He said it when he was by himself, and I can't remember how he said it, but he had said something of the fact that that's what he saw, and that's what he's used to.
Yes.
So in his head, that's a commitment, meaning that yes, he has multiple girls, but I'm committed to them.
I didn't see that.
So
okay.
that's.
I mean, I'm not, you know.
Oh, okay. That's how I heard him, because like he's not used to doing that with one person, being committed, and that's all. And that's why you know. Again, I only heard him say about the, you know, probably cheat on maybe 1 or 2 times. I didn't hear how many times you heard it. But and when he said it, that's what I was like, to me, that's where I thought of it, because in his head is, yeah, he has multiple girlfriends. He's not cheating on them because he's committed to both of them. So having to have one person and then not being able to have somebody else, not, you know, he's so used to just having multiple. Now I got to have only one. I'm going to continue to, because that's what I'm used to doing. That's how. That's again.
Okay.
That's
no,
how.
I didn't look at it like that, but okay.
That's how. Yeah. That's how I heard it when I was watching the episode. Okay. So.
All right. So we gotta fast forward a little bit because this is gonna get long.
Okay.
Because we gotta talk about the conversation between Mama and Daddy.
Okay.
Well, wait. Well, we gotta back up a little bit because I didn't really go into what happened when she's back in her. I don't know. I don't really know how it plays out. I think he goes into the dressing room before Mom and Daddy had a conversation, right?
I'm trying to remember.
Well, that's how we're gonna tell it.
Oh, okay.
I felt like they were doing kind of like pieces.
And that's where I'm now that what I'm thinking about is like, I don't think it flowed like it was. I think how
it actually went down.
Yeah, okay. I don't think that's how it went down.
So we're gonna talk about it this way. So AD's in there. She's like really down on herself. Clay wants to go in and comfort her. And then initially they're like, don't do it. And then I think the producer's like, yeah, okay, go ahead. I think she says like he can come in, and he tries to explain that my no was not a no for us, for the relationship. It was just a no to marriage right now. Mm-hmm. There's like, you know, some, I got some growing to do. I want to be the best me before we get married. And she's just like, no matter what he's saying, all she's hearing is, I'm not enough. Mm-hmm. I wasn't enough for you to say yes now. Mm-hmm. So why do you think that I'm going to be around
later on?
Like you said no, like no is no. And she's just like, it's over. And he's not here. Like they literally are having 2 different conversations at the same time. Because he's like, no, I'm not saying no to us. I was saying no to getting married like right now. Like I got to do this, whatever. And she's like, I just don't understand why you would do this to me.
It was,
I thought we were on the same page. I guess you don't love me enough. And he's like, I love you. We finna hang out tonight. Like we can go hang out tonight. or we can get together tomorrow and we can keep like he didn't want to lose her, but yet she's saying no. They literally are having two different conversations at the same time. They're not listening to each other, which I understand. It's a very big emotion time. But I was just like, what is going on?
So when that happened, again, and I say I chuckled, but I kind of did chuckle about it.
About what part?
Just about that part you said, because the simple fact was, when he said no at the altar.
Yes.
He's done there. Like, and so now for him is like, okay, I said no, but let's continue to move on. Like, because so like that's why I laughed, because it was like the communication didn't happen correctly.
No.
So, but in his mind, what he said to her was that, like, I'm not saying that I don't want to get married to you, but right now I want to be able to do the work. And he didn't say that. He just said no, and then later on he wants to come back.
Well, I think that's what he was trying to say.
Again, but the thing is, that was a wrong point, moment to say
because
it.
When he said no, she was like, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She didn't hear nothing he had to say. I know she had to watch the episode to hear what he actually said. Because there's just no way.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, and because, again, I don't like to say it, but
what?
Because he's not mature.
You're right.
He was trying to, and I'd say he was trying to be sly and slick with what his words were.
Yeah.
Instead of being vulnerable and truthful.
Yes.
So, and that's where, like I said, that devious look from me when he was talking, because that now he was trying to be a slick talker to make her feel okay with him saying no, so he can possibly still have her and have somebody else on the side. That's, again, this is how I saw it. This is what I was getting when he was talking. So
it was very frustrating because I was just like, dude, you just broke her heart, but you're like, I don't want to leave you. I don't like seeing you like this. Oh, you could have prevented this. Because I would have came prepared. I would have known what I was actually walking into. You could have prevented this. Instead, you created this.
Yep.
And now you want me to trust you that what you're saying now is the real thing?
Charlie Brown. Like, it's literally Charlie Brown.
Like
you talking, all
exactly.
you hear is want.
You gonna be able to see him pull the rug? Or football, whatever, I forgot.
Like, it's.
I was just like, no. And he was just like, no, I'm not saying no to you. I want to, like, I just felt like, I was like, how dare you think that you can have your cake and eat it too?
And then the other thing was his dad wasn't in the present still. So now he's trying to revert back to the person that there was when they've been together.
Yeah, because he saw how devastated, and he realized.
He realized I
can't
messed up.
have it.
And I messed up. He realized I messed up.
I can't have her. Like, she's done. Yeah. And now you're going to have to try to work and get her back.
Yep.
So that's going on in the dressing room. Now let's go to mommy and daddy. So they outside at the cocktail tables. Daddy with his little smug self. He just a cheesing and grinning and whatever. And so mama says, I don't remember exactly what she said, but what I heard or what I remember her saying was basically like, this is your fault. You need to fix that. You need to fix that relationship with your son because you did dirt. She's like, I found out things that you basically, in essence, did with my son, present, that I did not know at the time, but I don't now. And you need to fix it. Fix it. Because you are the reason why he made that decision.
There's nothing. Why you looking at me like?
No, I thought you had some.
No, because that's again it. That's why I don't like. how they flowed, because that's literally the not say literally but that's literally what happened. He came in the 11th hour, and then 1 minute before, not saying when it was going to start, but in the 11th hour, and it just kicked everything over.
Mm-hmm.
Just came in you know what? I don't like what's happening. Boom, just kicking everything over.
Right. Because and like you said, as he was walking down the aisle, you know, something different. Mm-hmm. His mom and his sister was looking like...
Yep. She was like...
And mom said, he's nervous. She's like, he's nervous.
The sister, yeah. The sister said...
And they're having that conversation. They're like, mm-hmm. They know something.
They know something.
They're like, is it just nervous? Like, something's off. They're
mm-hmm.
just hoping that it's just nervousness, right?
Yeah.
So she say, you need to fix it. And they fix it what? He looking for a woman like you. And I'm like, he don't even know, because never did they say that, well, I think they did say that AD met him, but they never say how it went. That she met the daddy.
Oh, okay.
They never say how it went. It was you're going to meet my dad. He probably going to try to hit on you. Right.
I don't watch that.
But I don't remember them ever saying how it actually went. Now, we saw how it went with the mom, mm-hmm. but we don't know how it went with daddy. So he's like, he's trying to find someone like you, because basically the mom, she was the best he ever had, and she said, "You had me, but you didn't keep me. Oh, you weren't good to me." That's what she said. You had me, but you wasn't good to me. And that's what she's like, we not finna go all this, because these cameras around, and I'm not finna put all my business out here.
Yeah. But
just know you did dirty, and I'm not gonna blow you up, but you need to go fix it. Fix my son. Because you're trifling, good for nothing type of brother. Go fix your son. Go fix that relationship. Go build him back up, because you didn't tow him down.
Yep.
It was a very real moment.
Yeah.
That I'm glad. Well, one, I hope they didn't edit it to make it look like that. Mm. But it seemed like it was very real, and that's what happened at weddings. That's what happened at weddings. The family is all up in the business. Some people gonna be for it, some gonna be against it. Mm-hmm. And you got to deal with all that
pressure.
Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, there's pressure to say yes. What I was saying is, there's just pressure to say yes, and there's pressure to appear to be that you're going with, to appear a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I think that I think it just messed up things. But I did have to go back, and because I do remember, I was like, I couldn't remember exactly what was said, but after Clay says, no, or I don't, he has an exchange with his dad. Him and his dad talk. Mm. And his dad talks about how, I had to get my notes out, talking about how basically at the end of the day, you got to do what's comfortable for Clay. And by you making this choice is a sign of maturity. And I'm just like...
You just done told this dude one thing, and then, yeah.
But how is that a sign of maturity? You just don't be comfortable. Basically, don't worry about growth. You don't need it. You just stay the person you are, and you're going to be by yourself like me.
You don't want him to be happy.
Yes. And so, and then going back to the conversation that the dad had with, or I should say the mom had with the dad, because he didn't really have much to say, because he had... As you can tell, I'm not a fan of the dad right now. I know there's opportunity for growth there. I'm not writing him off, but he did not show up well for his son at the wedding. But it was just how Clay struggled with marriage being a commitment, being that he didn't see his dad be committed to his mom. Now, he saw his mom be committed.
Correct.
And the fact that she stayed for so long really confused him. And so he's struggling with, because he had to be there. Mm-hmm. You know, he was there with his mom. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I saw what my dad put her through. I don't want to do that to AD. Mm-hmm. And the fact that man was just like, yes, you're just like me. This is what you're going to do. I just was like, I just couldn't understand. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand how you would not want better for your son. He had the perfect opportunity to say, I want you to be better than me. That's all it would have taken.
I thought that's what he was gonna say when he was talking about Olympics. I thought that's where he was gonna end on, but he didn't go. I was like, oh,
right. Okay. It never went anywhere. Okay. I was like, that's a pep talk for him to go play a game. He's gonna go get married. And all he had to do was swallow his pride and say, I messed up. I messed up a good thing with your mama.
But I don't think he
he does. I don't think he wants to admit it. He definitely not gonna admit it on camera.
That's what's like, that's nah.
So, but I think if he would have been able to swallow his pride and just say, I had a good thing in your mom and I messed it up. Mm-hmm. I need you to be better than me.
Yeah.
Like, I have faith in you. I have confidence that you can do it. Mm-hmm. You can correct this generational thing we got going on.
Yeah.
And that man didn't do it. And that boy struggled with it all the way to the altar and then gave in. And the mama was like, fix it. So.
We'll see what happens at the reunion.
Well, yes. We're going to see what happens at the reunion. But before we go to the reunion talk, right at the end of the episode, they do the individual interviews. Or not at the... it was the end of the episode. Clay is leaning and he's like, I made a mistake. I think I messed up.
Yeah. When he was leaning on the fence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, you did. You listened to the wrong person.
And that's important. That's an important fact right now.
Yes.
Who you listen to.
Yes, it matters.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, Daddy needs supervised visits. What if the friends go? What if the brother go? Don't come, y'all
that's
come
true,
back.
because
they all left. No, he don't get one-on-one time.
That's a good point, because I
No,
don't remember
y'all
that.
should not have left him.
Yeah.
He was fine until y'all left.
Wow, yeah.
And I know they probably did it for the show, so he can have because he had, one-on-one time with his mom and then one-on-one time with his dad. But no, in that situation, listen, this is a family dynamic, which is also important for those who are getting married. Mm-hmm. If you know there's certain family dynamics that don't need to be, or that like wedding coordinators, wedding planners need to know ahead of time, tell them. Mm-hmm. Do not think that everybody's going to be on their best behavior on your day. This is your day. They don't care. So if your parents don't get along, don't force it, because you're going to mess up your day. Yeah. Okay? Make the key people aware of the dynamics that need to be maintained so that you can actually have a good day. Okay? And so in this situation, it should have been like, Daddy can't get one-on-one time. No one-on-one time. I hear what y'all saying about the show, but if I'm serious about this, Daddy can't have one-on-one time. Mama can, Daddy can't.
But in this instance, who would have been able to say that? Who should? Because I don't think
his friends. His friends know his daddy. They know how crazy he is. But, even the sister,
But if your friends and your brothers all had that same mindset, why would they want to keep your dad out?
But they were there. They played their role. They were like, hey, dude, if you gonna do this, okay, cool. Like, nobody was like, but you trifling. Like, nobody did that.
No, but they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't do. I said they didn't do that correct.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying because I would say like you have friends. Oh, your daddy just funny. Like your daddy's just crazy like that. They're not attributing to it that he's gonna come in and change his mind like that. Because again, I didn't see any sign from his brothers the way they like that was that I don't think that should be here. Like they just thought it was.
I don't know. I feel like I need to go deep into the family tree and figure out whatever. But I mean, there's just certain situations, or he could even take it upon himself and be like, I know this for the show, but I where I'm at right now, my daddy can't have one-on-one time with me. Like, if he's a part of, like, if all the guys were, like, whatever, hanging out, he can be a part of that. I think he would have put on the face. He wouldn't have done what he did. Yeah. But I think it was the fact that it was one-on-one and there was nothing to counter. Because, like, literally, he had to talk. He was the last person in his ear. Even if they were going to do one-on-one, let daddy be early. And then he can talk to his mama. Like, there could have been ways around it to where he was not the last thing in his ear.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the show's fault.
Well, it could be. But that's what I'm saying. But you got to know these things. So for us, in our wedding, I was like, I want to make sure that my daddy is sober to walk me down the aisle. And what did we do?
Make sure he was sober. Yep.
Exactly. We put the best man on it.
Yep.
And he stayed on it. He did his job.
He stayed on him, yep. He sure did.
We walked down the aisle. And now I have an untainted memory of my dad walking me down the aisle.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Because...
That was hilarious, but yeah.
It was. I mean, the story is hilarious.
Yeah, the story is hilarious.
But, I shouldn't say but, I got my moment, and he had a good time at the reception, and we have the funny story of how it all happened. Yeah. But listen, like, we have those. Mm-hmm. And, so you just gotta protect that. Yeah. If that's really, you just gotta be aware, know what it is, know people won't be on their best behavior. Because although it's your big day, they still want flowers. Like, you're going to acknowledge me for, whatever, and they will make it about themselves. So don't think that people are going to do the right thing on your day because it's your day. Your big day. They don't care. I mean, I shouldn't say that. They do care, and they want to feel like they're being acknowledged for what they contributed to making that day happen. Yeah. So we recorded this before the reunion. Some people have said that Clay and AD got back together. Okay. But of course they had to scrub everything, had to take everything down, or block it or whatever. So the last real sighting was in January. So we'll see you at the reunion. What happened? What do you think occurs? I'm going to take predictions.
Honestly, I don't know. I would in my mind I would hope that they don't get back together because he got a lot of work to do. She has a lot of work to do because just even her certain comments were her trying to. She thought that she could help change him. Yeah. You can't and like I said, she has work. Again, we don't know the story, but she has work to do regarding, going so deep in the negativity after he said no. So that's why I don't think they should. They need time to work on that themselves, and then when they become better themselves, more healthier, then possibly. But that's just me.
Honestly, I don't think they should date. I think it's a wrap. I think what is done because of the way it was handled. I think that you can get back together and say, we're going to work on these things or whatever. But this happened.
Yeah.
So how do you really ever overcome this?
As the trust is broken. So he's gonna have.
It's gonna be a lot, and I just don't see it ever working out.
Because
also,
she did a lot
you
of work.
still have to deal with. So now that's your father-in-law. Like, are you still you still have to be around this person, who you already know ain't for y'all.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're to the point where they're gonna be able to continuously overcome that, because he gonna stay in his ear.
He is. It's a daddy.
Until because the mama said, you need to go and you need to apologize for all the dirt that you made this boy witness and participate in.
Yeah.
And I don't see that, because he could have did it. He didn't even need to apologize. He just had to acknowledge how of a bad example he was.
Yeah.
So
and don't follow my footsteps or your granddad's footsteps.
Just do something. Be better.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a lot to overcome.
And again, we don't know how long the time has been from when they did that and then the reunion, if it was months and months down the line.
Well, they just recorded the reunion like a couple of weeks ago or a week ago.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know when the actual season ended. When they actually recorded it initially, and when that, I don't. Again, this could all happen last year, early 2023. It could have.
I think it did.
So it's been over a year. Like it could have been. It's been a year since all this. So it's like a lot.
Well, like
of
I said, they were together as of January 2024. Oh, that was the last sighting, and then that's when they started to have to scrub and sanitize their IGs.
Gotcha. Okay.
And stuff. So we'll see. Whatever happens at the reunion, or whatever they say at the reunion, though, is almost real time. Okay. Because it was just recorded either a week or two ago.
Gotcha. Okay.
So also I'm glad that Netflix is not trying to do the live, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, because y'all, you was.
Oh, yeah. I was
last time,
upset.
Yeah, it was.
I had to watch it on someone's TikTok.
And
they kept talking. And I was like, girl, shush, I gotta hear the show. And then she kept promoting and then talking about, if you don't like it, get off my live, TikTok live. Girl, we can't. If we could, we would. We trying to see the show. They messed up. We shut down the internet, broke Netflix. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, but I'm glad they're not doing that. Mm-hmm. But I also don't like the fact that it's at 8:00 Central Time.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That's what I said.
Why it be so late?
Exactly. I was like, listen, I got kids.
You sound old the way you said that.
Well, listen. Hey. I need my sleep. Mm-hmm. So now I got to stay up. And then afterwards, I'm going to want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a late one Wednesday. Who calls in because of a show? I'm not going to call in, though.
Do you have anything else then?
Nope. So my marriage advance tip, so many.
Yeah, pick one.
I know. Do you have one?
No.
Okay. At the end of the day, do not feel forced to get married, to making a commitment before you're fully ready. And make sure that when you are making that commitment, that you and your partner are on the same page of what that commitment looks like for them.
For y'all.
For them. For the individual.
Okay.
If I understand what you see as commitment.
Gotcha, okay.
And you understand what I feel like is commitment, then we're able to say, yes, we can do this together.
Okay, I got you. I thought you, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
Because if I have a different interpretation of what that means to be commitment, to be committed in a committed marriage, and we go and we say, I do, and then you start doing something different, I'm like, I'm gonna question the man that I married. Oh, you not the type. Oh, you not the man that I thought you were.
Yeah.
When
I got you.
in actuality, we never
Had that conversation.
were in agreement. So you be like, no, I'm the same. That's when I say commitment. This is what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, now y'all done already said I do, and now you got to do the work to get back on the same page. So that's what I said. I don't want to rush. I say don't rush into marriage, even if if you have a no, if something, even if it's a quiet no or a small no, get curious about that. What is your hesitation? And it might be that maybe you guys do need to date. Maybe you have a wedding date and you're just like, oh, we already have a date. I have to go ahead with the wedding. No, you don't.
You can always move it.
You can always move it. Yes, you're gonna lose some money. But you know what? You can make the money back. Going into a marriage just because you have a date, you have a, security deposit, all that stuff, is not enough. It's not enough.
It's not.
That's not a valid excuse to go ahead and push through. Get curious as to the no, or get curious to the hesitation, so that you can then flesh that out, understand it, and then communicate it with your partner so that no one's blindsided. I know you won't do it at the altar, but right after, on the honeymoon, during the honeymoon phase, like, no matter when it happens, no one wants to be blindsided.
Still gonna be blindsided.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one wants to be blindsided. So get on the same page.
Yeah.
That's my marriage tip.
So, I guess y'all...
Sorry, it's a little long.
A little long today, but if... I would say if y'all, want to check out the episode, just look at the 12th episode. You can kind of see all the stuff we were talking about.
Season 6, episode 12.
Episode 12. But
I say, let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. If y'all felt like we misread the situation, let us know. Because I'm here for it. I'm here for the conversation.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I never expected all this to come out from a Love is Blind show.
It was a lot,
So,
It was a lot. So, all right. Well, guess like, follow, share.
Yes.
Subscribe. And then I guess until next week.
Because remember, the real work begins at I do. Peace.